Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Meghan Markle. Let's talk about her, shall we? Hello, best friend. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Sebastian and I spill pop culture tea videos every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. Listen, girl, we gotta talk. If you are new to my channel, I spill pop culture tea from my closet. And it's very Disney, very magical, very girly. Everything I couldn't do when I was a kid, I'm doing it now, honey. So I'm living it up. But listen, we gotta talk about Meghan Markle. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, if you will. There's a lot to unwrap here. There's a lot to talk about here, okay? And I'm ready and willing to talk about it. So, listen. I just recently watched her Netflix, With Love Meghan, or Meghan with Love, you know, her like DIY arts and crafts cooking show. And I have to tell you something, best friend. My obsession, the healthy one, is up there with Meghan right now, okay? The way she is. First of all, I have to be very clear on one thing before I continue, because I could already hear the rolling of the eyes. I don't know much about the royal drama, okay? I don't know practically anything, okay? So I haven't gone into this with like this preconceived notion about who she is, because frankly, I have no idea. I never really cared for royalty. But now I'm kind of like really into it. So I'm starting to kind of like immerse myself in it. So we might even do some royalty here. But I'm just kind of starting off this way, okay? I'm going to start watching The Crown, sorry, because my husband said if I really want to get into it, I have to kind of like watch that show. And then, of course, just kind of like follow these pages that talk about the royals. So maybe I'll start spilling some royalty every now and then. But I really wanted to talk about Meghan Markle, because not only did I watch her cooking DIY docuseries or whatever, I also watched the Netflix documentary of Harry and Meghan. So I have a lot to talk about, you know, because I don't have anyone to talk about this. So if you're interested in this, let's talk about it. And if you think I should know certain things about her, please let me know, because I really don't know. But I have to tell you about this cooking show, okay? So, first of all, I heard some criticism on it, saying that it was unrealistic and saying that it was, you know, just she's not in touch with reality and this and that. And I was like, okay, like whatever. And one day I was home alone, had nothing to watch. And I was like, you know what, girl, I'm just going to watch this. I've been very much into the idea of nature lately. I love the idea of being in nature, of planting, of farming. Never have I wanted to do that before. So of course, you know, my husband and I were looking into a property, in just a beautiful farm life. You know, it's, I think it's like 200 acres. We're kind of seeing it. Just, I don't know if I want 40 horses or not yet. So we're kind of just debating with the idea of buying that property. We might buy it, and then just see how it goes. And then, can you imagine? Well, you know what, girl? We got to manifest that shit, okay? That's how, listen. So law of attraction works that way, girl, okay? Like speaking things into reality and believing that they're possible, they'll come true. So one day we're all going to be riding horses in my property, bitch. Amen. All right. So listen, I watched it. I gave it an opportunity and I fell in love with her. I fell in love with her. And this whole out of reality thing, I was thinking it was going to give like Kardashians, you know, but I did not think about that at all. What I saw her do is, of course, she has a huge garden where she gets all of her fruits and vegetables, but she was so dedicated to say every single time, almost in every single episode, there's like 8 episodes, where she says, I never grew up with this. And I know not everyone has this luxury, but there are, you know, oh my God, what is that thing called that's on Sundays? Not Trader Joe's, not Whole Foods, farms, festival farms, no, supermarket farms. You know what I'm talking about, bitch. You see, I don't even know about, no, you know what it's on Sundays where a lot of farm, you know, foods come in and then you walk around. that thing, whatever. You guessed it in the comments. I know you already did. Trader Farms, Sunday Farms. It's on Sundays. Whatever, girl. I don't even know what's it called, bitch. But anyways, let's just call it farm supermarkets, okay, in the outdoors. Okay. Well, anyways, so those are like, you guys know the fucking word. Dios mío, I don't know the word. It's gonna kill me. But it's basically on Sundays, people go farmers market. Oh, is that called farmers market? I think it's called farmers market. Okay, good. So anyways, I've never been, but I want to go. But basically, like, they bring fresh produce, organic produce, and it's not that expensive as I've heard. I asked a friend. She goes, no, it's really, like, inexpensive. Or, whatever. And then you get really good quality. So, she would always be like, you could go to, like, a farmer's market. You could go to, like, Trader Joe's. You could go to your local grocery stores, pick up some blueberries. Like, she was so, like, strict about reminding people that she understands her blessings and her privilege, okay, of just going outside your front door and picking out blackberries. Go to the grocery store right now seems like it's a Hunger Games thing. I mean, eggs are a freaking luxury, okay? And she also said it. She has some hens that, she collects like 6 eggs a day. And she says, I know how lucky I am. Like, so that's one thing that I don't know much about her, and I don't know if she's putting on an act. Again, I'm learning now. But I saw someone who is understanding their privilege and understanding how fortunate they are, and also giving the people that don't have that ideas of how to get that. Going to a farmer's market, going to your local Trader Joe's, this and that. Everything, she goes, it doesn't have to be decadent. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You just grab some edible flowers and you put them on the plate so it looks good. She's giving you fun, easy DIYs it doesn't seem so out of touch. And it doesn't seem so impossible. And that's the one thing that I just absolutely loved about her, is that the things that she has presented are things that all of us could do on a budget. Like, it doesn't seem so decadent. It doesn't seem so out of reach. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God, I think that's what made me fall in love with her, because of course the first few minutes I was like, bitch, girl, I can't even keep a fucking, plant alive. How the hell, I live in a building, those things like that. I'm like, bitch, I can't even buy eggs, So, but like her saying, like, you can just go and you can, buy a plant from Trader Joe's. You can get some almonds. You can do, and I'm like, oh my God, wait, it's actually kind of doable. So those are the things that one of the things that I think kind of just, then I started seeing, so I finished that 8 episodes, wonderful ideas of like easy, also like her recipes are super fucking easy. And I don't cook, girl. I burn boiling water. And the fact that like some of the recipes I've actually written down, I'm like, and she gives you like the healthy alternative. So for example, she'll do like, she was doing like a taco bar, and she's like, well, instead of nachos, you could do some plantains. And you could do them at home. So she got a green plantain, cut it into pieces, put it, seasoned it, olive oil, put it in the oven, and then you have some chips. And I'm a snacker. I'm a huge snacker. And a plantain is much healthier than a whole bunch of tortilla chips that are covered in salt. Those are the things, and fried. So those are the things that I'm just like, holy shit. Like, I like this. Like, I connected a lot. Then that's like the surface of her. Then I watched the documentary. I'm on the last episode. I think I have an episode and a half to watch more. But I saw everything that happened. Of course, it's their narrative, obviously. You could argue that, well, that's just the way that they're saying it. But being a royal, right? It is a duty to your country, right? It's an honor, right? And it's, again, I don't know much about it. So if I use wrong wording or anything, please forgive me, but I would hate to be it. The things that Prince Harry, I don't even know if he's a prince anymore, but anyways, I call him Prince Harry. The things that he expressed, especially one thing when they were talking about a letter that, her father, up to her wedding, was like selling stories, and he was doing like photo ops, you know, and like him trying to learn about the queen or getting an outfit fitted for the wedding, and he was allegedly getting a bunch of money. And he was having all these, like, he would give all these quotes and interviews, and this was like a week before her wedding, and she wanted him to just go to the UK, like to stop talking to people. Harry and her tried to get him like on a flight, you know, and he like refused to go on it. And then all of a sudden, like, he does this like interview. Obviously he's not no longer invited to the wedding. He has like a medical issue. He had like a heart attack or something, like days before the wedding, this and that. It was just a whole fucking mess. And one thing that was kind of like what broke the camel's back with Harry and Meghan was that they were advised by the Queen, Her Majesty, because Meghan was like, look, I want to make this right, because at that time her father was just doing interviews bashing, you know, the institution. Look at me learning, girl. And she called up Her Majesty and was like, look, I want to make sure that I do right by you guys. What should I do about my father? And the Queen was like, well, write him a letter and send it to him. Somehow, some way, the mail got that letter and posted it. And what they did was they like blanked out certain sentences but left others to make you kind of wonder what you know, what was said, and manipulated that way, right? So she ended up wanting to sue them for obviously posting that private letter, right? Well, the institution allegedly didn't want her to take legal actions, but they were like, yeah, let's do it. Like, you know, so she would ask week after week, like, hey, any updates? Like, I really need to do this. This has to stop. But the institution, as said by, you know, interviewers or reporters, they were like, look, they don't basically like to complain or explain. That's like their motto. And they have this relationship with the media and with, you know, the gossip sites, I guess, that they're basically like, we pay you, entertain us, you can write about us. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, so that's sort of what broke the camel's back. You guys are probably already know all of this. You guys probably already like freaking turn this off. If you're still here, please leave me a heart, any color heart you want. But I just want to know if you're still here. I'm just learning about this, so it's like super exciting. But you guys are, this is so old news, but you know, whatever. Anyways, so you know, Meghan realized that like they're choosing not to do any legal thing because they don't want to look bad. They don't want the bad press, and they don't want to ruin this relationship that they've had for ages. Anyway, so Harry and Meghan decide to, you know, proceed to take legal action of their own outside of the institution. And that is sort of what kind of broke the camel's back, with them wanting to leave the UK, move somewhere where there's Commonwealth, I think that's what it's called, and still work for the Queen, serve the Queen, but not be in that circus. So it's just, oh my gosh, it's like crazy. Like, you know, it's so crazy to see how what seems to be such a cold, you know, cold institution, but of course, you know, this is their this is their culture. This is respected by their people, and this is like sort of like, we serve the people first, then we serve ourselves or our family. That's sort of the energy that I'm getting. But I'm definitely going to be looking more into it. But I just wanted to share it with you guys because I just thought it was so interesting, everything I'm learning about the royal family. So anyways, I love you so much. And by the way, I have a very, very big surprise for you guys coming soon, so stay tuned. I love you all. Beedity, bobbity,